Hi friends, I hope you're all doing wonderful. Today is Monday, April 20th, and we are going to continue along with our learning about bees and butterflies and pollination, and I am so excited to get ready and get started. So I'm going to share my screen with you so that you can view our PowerPoint, and then we're going to watch a video. We're going to do some high quality drawing today, some scientific drawings. So let me share my screen, and I am going to open up our slideshow to get started with. So let's see. Here we go. Awesome. So today, friends, is Monday, April 20th. We are going to continue along. So we are going to do Module 3, Unit 2, Lesson 6. So the purpose of today's lesson, there's 3 different things that we are going to be doing today. We are going to do some research about bees using photographs instead of written text. So we are going to look really closely at some pictures. And I also found a really cool YouTube video that we're going to watch. Instead of using our books. So we're going to look at the photographs, and we're not going to look at the words in the text to come up with some really great findings. We're going to develop an understanding of adjectives and adverbs by singing It's Pollination Time. And we're going to use photographs as a form of visual text to practice closely observing and taking notes about bees and pollination. Okay, friends? So I am super excited to get started. You have 2 different learning targets today. Your learning targets are I can research information using photographs about bees, and I can create and label a scientific drawing of a bee. So today, friends, there's going to be 3 different things we do. The first thing we're going to do today is we are going to sing our It's Pollination Time song. And then, friends, we are going to look closely at some pictures, and we're going to look at a YouTube video, and come up with some more reasons why bees are wonderful pollinators. Just like we did last Friday, we're going to keep building on that idea of why are bees great pollinators. And then, friends, you are going to have an opportunity to just do a high quality scientific drawing looking at the shapes that you see. So I'm super excited. I hope you are as well. Okay, so it's pollination time. Remember, friends, that this poem has a bunch of adjectives and adverbs. So what is an adjective? An adjective is right here. Right here is the definition of it. It is a word that describes, here we go. It is a word that describes a noun, okay? So an adjective describes a person, place, or thing. And then an adverb is a word that describes a verb. So an adjective describes a noun, a person, place, or thing, and an adverb describes a verb, a doing, an action. So we are going to read It's Pollination Time 2 times. So here we go. It's pollination time. It's pollination time. It's pollination time. Hi ho, the bees all know. It's pollination time. The bees all leave their hive, and busily they go, buzzing to the gardens to help the flowers grow. Black and yellow bees spot flowers as they land, gently slurping nectar from every part they can. A sticky pollen spot, a sticky pollen spot. The bee's hairy body is caked from bottom to top. The bees leave hungrily, the hungry bees they leave. Those bees wildly zig and zag to every flower they see. It's pollination time. It's pollination time. Hi ho, the bees all know. It's pollination time. Great job. Thanks for following along with me, friends. So this time we're going to start to add some motions, okay? So when I say it's pollination time, I want you to pretend to look to your wrist as if you're really wearing a watch. I'm not wearing a watch today, but I'm going to pretend in my mind. So I'm going to say, it's pollination time. It's pollination time. Hi ho, the bees all know. It's pollination time. The bees all leave their hive, and busily they go, buzzing to the garden to help the flowers grow. Black and yellow bees spot flowers as they land, gently slurping nectar from every part they can. A sticky pollen spot. Pretend you're sticky. A sticky pollen spot. The bee's hairy body is caked from bottom to top. The bees leave hungrily. You can like pat your belly hungrily. The hungry bees, they leave. Those bees wildly zig and zag to every flower they see. It's pollination time. It's pollination time. Hi ho, the bees all know it's pollination time. So friends, you can practice those motions on your own. And then when we do it tomorrow, you will be the experts. Okay, let's continue on with our learning. So friends, like I said, we are going to be looking closely at pictures today, at visuals, to help us understand why bees are such wonderful pollinators, okay? So, here we go. Oh my gosh, I think I'm going the wrong way. Okay, so your first learning target today is I can research information about bees using photographs, okay? So I have some photographs that we are going to be looking at today. So remember, friends, when we look closely at something, we're using our close viewing protocol. And right here on your screen is the actual anchor chart for the close viewing protocol. So you zoom into one part of the picture. You look closely at the details in that part of the picture, and then you think about what those details help you learn. You can tell a partner, you can tell your parents, you can tell your siblings, and then you draw and write notes about the detail, okay? So on Friday, friends, we started filling this out. We started filling out our class notes about researchers, about bees, and we talked about why the pollinator, why the bee is attracted to flowers, what body structure that supports pollination, and how the pollinator moves pollen, okay? So I have my anchor chart that I filled out right here, okay? So I said, for why this pollinator is attracted to flowers, I said that it collects nectar and pollen to eat. That is why it's attracted to flowers. It's attracted to the flower because it wants the sweet, yummy nectar to eat. Not because it thinks that the flower is pretty, or not because it wants to go sniff the petals. It wants the nectar. It wants that yummy, yummy nectar taste. Okay? So, what body structure supports that? So the body structure that supports that is that the bees have a very, very long tongue that can get right into the flower to slurp up all that yummy, yummy nectar. Also, friends, a bee's body is very furry. So when it's furry, the pollen sticks to the fur, right? And that's what helps the pollen move from one flower to another flower while the bee is going to collect nectar. And then how this pollinator moves the pollen, it carries it from one flower to another flower. Its body is why it is such a great pollinator. Okay, friends? So before we get to that, I am going to escape from this full video and I am going to show you a YouTube video right here, and it's going to show you a bee moving from flower to flower. I think. Let's see. Body structure. There's its long tongue getting right into that flower for its nectar. There's the pollen sac. Look at how its body's curved. See its little hair? See its legs? It has 6 legs and 2 antennas. Oh, I'm sorry, it has 4. 6 legs. 6 legs, 2 antennas. Awesome, friends. So bees are so cool that way, that they help us and use their bodies as a way to collect the pollen. So friends, I want you to add on to my notes, okay? So we said already that they collect nectar and pollen to eat, but bees, maybe they're attracted to flowers because of other reasons. So I want you, friends, to think about what other reasons might they be attracted to flowers because of, right? I want you to think of what other body structures help them become really great pollinators. It's more than just their long tongues and their hairy bodies. There's something else about them. And I want you to think about how this pollinator moves the pollen. So we know that it carries it from flower to flower, but what else does it do? Okay, so you're gonna log on to Google Classroom and you're gonna add on to the notes that I already have, okay? So now we're gonna go on to the next thing. Our next thing that we are going to do is you are going to create and label a scientific drawing of a bee. What is a scientific drawing? A scientific drawing is a detailed and accurate picture that teaches the viewer information about an object, okay? So we are going to create a scientific drawing of a bee, and we need to be able to label our scientific drawing, okay? Okay, so we are going to look at this picture. And what shapes do you see in this picture? Well, friends, I see some circles right here. I see a circle, another circle, and maybe an oblong circle here. I see 2 wings, and they kind of almost look like triangles, okay? But then they have a rounded bottom. I see straight lines, and then I see some curved lines for their legs, okay? So I am going to try to do something. I'm going to try to pull up my camera. Let's see. Okay, great. Okay, so I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. Wow, friends, you probably are very impressed with this if it works. Oh man, maybe I got ahead of myself. I'm gonna try to make this a little smaller. Okay, and then I'm going to try to make this a little smaller, and I'm going to try to share the screen so that you can see the bee and you can see what I'm drawing, oh my, on my picture. Wait, I think I can do it. I think I was somewhere. Okay, so this is where I'm going to do my drawing, right in this area. Hello, hand. And then the picture I'm going to draw is going to be on this side of the screen. Okay, so, oh my. Okay, here we go. So I see, and guys, all you need for this is just scrap paper, okay? I found scrap paper and I found pen, like colored pencils or markers, okay? So you can use anything you want to try to do this. But while you're doing the scientific drawing, you need to be thinking in your brain about what shapes you see in the photograph and what body parts you see on the bee, okay? So let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger for you. I don't know why it's, okay, there. Okay, so I see that this bee, friends, has 3 body sections. I see that it has a head, and I see that the head kind of shaped like that, right? And then I see that it has a middle part of its body, and that's a little more round, like that. And then I see that it has another section of its body, and it's a little more longer like that, right? And then I see that from its head, it has two antennas. It has some legs. And then I can't see its other set, okay? So I can't draw that because I don't see it. And then I see from up here that its wings, okay, so they're kind of like a triangle, but then they're rounded, right? They're curved. And they come from this middle section. So it comes out, and then it's curved, right? And then I see that this area is super fluffy, super furry, super hairy. Okay, and then I know on its head it does have these eyeballs, and their eyeballs are really, really big. Okay, so friends, this is my first draft of my scientific drawing, but I'm not done because I didn't label yet the parts of the body that I see. So let me see. I'm going to use a different color to label it. Let's see if I can do this. I'm going to make sure that I am using all the correct terms when I'm labeling my bee. So I'm going to look up quick. Exactly how to label a bee's body, okay? So I see that here is an image of a bee. I'm going to hold it up. Can you see that? So I'm going to label it using this. So here is the eye. And here is the antenna, and there's two of them. Okay. And here are the wings. And this part right here, this is called the head. Okay, that's called the head. This middle section right here, that's called the thorax. And then this area right here, this is called the abdomen. So, oh, and I didn't do the legs. And these are the legs. And there's 6 of them. So there's 6 legs, 2 eyes, 2 antennas, 2 wings. Okay, so friends, that is my first draft of a scientific drawing of a bee. Your job today is to create a scientific drawing of a bee, okay? And then you can either take a picture of it and send it to me, or we will look at it during crew tomorrow morning on Zoom, okay? So you can either take a picture of it, send it to me, or we will look at it together on Zoom tomorrow morning. Okay, let's get back to our PowerPoint. So these are some more pictures of a bee that you can use to draw, okay? I used the one from the first one, but you can either use B1, B2, or B3 to closely view and draw, okay? I used B2. You can use B1, or you can use B2 or B3 for your scientific drawing. So remember, friends, your learning targets today were, I can research information about bees using photographs. These are wonderful photographs that you can use to go onto Google Classroom to say why you think that bees are great pollinators. So what else did we research today using our eyes to look at the pictures? Our other learning target was, I can create and label a scientific drawing of a bee. Okay, I showed you how I did it by looking at the shapes. I want you to as well create a scientific drawing of a bee, label it, and then either take a picture of it or we'll look at it tomorrow during crew. I love you all so much. I thank you so much for learning with me, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye, friends.